Hi friends, here's a fun spring decor piece using an upcycled sign I got at a thrift store. It was a great sign for just really inexpensive. And this is the Magnolia Design Co. April Craft Club kit. If you enroll in their craft club, each month you're sent an awesome kit that has everything needed. And look at this sign, this board that has beads all the way around it. I'm not going to use that on this project today. I will use that maybe tomorrow. But you can make a riser out of it if you wanted, or hang it on a wall, or lean it on a shelf. But I wanted to use this thrift store sign I got. So I'm scraping off or sanding off all the words and most of that black paint. It was on there quite heavy, and it's really, really extra powdery. The surface was like a thin kind of soft wood or something, and there was a lot of wood powder and paint powder, but I got most of it up, and then I'll just vacuum that up with my little desktop vacuum cleaner. I got the most of it up, but it was extra messy, and it's usually not a problem. But so I decided to grab a wet wipe and just kind of wipe it off and get all that dust. It was real dusty is probably the best word for it. So I'm wiping it off with a paper towel and still getting a lot on there. That's when I decided I'm just going to grab a baby wipe. So I just lightly got off all the excess and then used my little drying tool to dry it real quick. And then we were good to go. So I'm going to paint it chalk paint by Folk Art in the color Milk Jug. And this is one of my favorite colors right now. It's just a nice creamy off-white. So it's not a stark white. It's just a nice neutral. It's great for vintage, rustic type crafts, or just kind of, like I said, neutral. But I am giving it 2 generous coats. So I will give it 1 coat here, and then I will dry it really well. And then I will give it another generous coat and dry that extremely well. I want it completely dry, not just, to the touch. It has to be all dry, completely clear through. I thought I'd put on a real thin, fine grit piece of sandpaper and just make sure that surface was smooth. And the more I looked at it, I thought, oh, it needs something along this frame. It's got a little raised edge along the frame. So I am sanding and smoothing that out. And I'm going to paint the top of that edge and the sides of the boxed sign with chalk paint by Folk Art again in black. And so, like I said, it's got a raised edge, so it's really easy to follow. I'm just carefully using my sponge brush and just going around all that edge. So I will get that entire edge on top and then all the sides. And it looks much better. It just needed something more. It needed a little contrast. So I'm just being careful not to accidentally go over that raised edge. So there you can see I've got it all painted. It looks much better in my opinion. So then I thought I'm just going to put a thin piece of twine all the way around that between the surface and the black frame, just to kind of separate the two. And I like the look of twine, and I just thought it looked really good. So I'm focusing on those corners because I want to keep this square. So I'm pushing it into that corner and then making it square. And I met up at the bottom where I started, and you can't even tell where it started or ended. So now I'm getting my stencil out, and it's a bouquet of flowers, as you can see. I don't have Magnolia's fuzzing cloth yet, so you can use your pant leg or a towel as I'm using here. If you're putting it on like a wood surface or glass or something, you want to kind of fuzz it lightly so it's not super, super sticky, so that when you peel it up, it comes up nice and easy and doesn't pull the paint off. So I got it on there where I want it, and now I'm just pressing it down all over, making sure it's pressed down and sticking all the way around that design. So it came with a glittering black ink chalk paste and a white chalk paste, and I won't be using the white today. I will be using that on a different project. And so I'm just putting a little bit on my paper plate, and I won't be using all of this, so I will have some of this black chalk paste to use on another project. So you just use your squeegee, just get a little bit on it and just keep sliding it across your design and making sure every bit is touched with the chalk paint. And then you just kind of scrape off the excess. Make sure it all gets down in all those little grooves in the mesh design. And then you slowly pull it up, and as you're pulling it up, if you see a spot that's missed, you can lay it down and paste it. And look how pretty that is. I almost left it like this, and I will on another project, but for this one, I had something in mind that I want to do. So I'm just kind of closing up my chalk paste so it doesn't dry out, because there's plenty in there for a couple more projects. So I'm just folding over the edge and sealing it with a paper clip. So that will be ready to be used on another project. And these craft kits, like I said, everything needed comes in them. So this came with squeegee and the 2 paints and the foam brush and the stencil and instructions and the surface. So these are my Bedham acrylic markers. They are actually acrylic paint in a marker form, and they are a dual tip. So they've got a fine tip and a thicker tip. So I just picked out some nice colors that I thought would look nice on this. And you have to make sure your design is thoroughly dry first, as I did. And then you just kind of start coloring in. And so where there's tiny little spots, I use the fine tip. And where it gets a little bigger area, then I use the thicker tip. I just kind of started off outlining my little area, trying not to go over the edge because I wanted the outline to show. And I just keep filling in slowly. And this is just, it's really therapeutic, I guess, kind of relaxing, very enjoyable just to sit and color my project. These markers are great. And it comes with 24, I believe, different shades. But for this project, I'm using 2 pinks, 2 greens, 2 purples, and then an orangey color. So I'm just doing one flower at a time, and that dries fairly quick. And you can leave them just in one color, or you can do some highlighting, as I will a little bit later in the project. That's why I'm using 2 shades of pink, 2 shades of purple, 2 shades of green for the leaves. So there's my pink flower. Now I'm going to work on the purple flower below it, doing the same process. I just kind of outline the area first with the fine tip. And after my flowers are dry, I take the darker shades of those colors and kind of do the insides of the flowers, inside of the petals, just to give it a little low lights, I guess it would be. I'm trying to stay in the design and not go on the design itself, because I want that dark outline. There's a couple spots that I actually did, and that's totally fine. But afterwards I took my black marker and just kind of went over some of those lines again to keep my outlines. Sometimes when you're painting on paint with these markers, the tip will kind of take on the color below, and that's why I was dabbing it onto my paper towels you just saw me do right there. It was kind of bringing up the cream colored from underneath. So just a little bit at a time. You can go at your own pace, and I'm probably showing way too much of my color time. I hope I'm not boring you too much, but this was super fun. You can see it start to come to life. So now I'm just going to use that yellow for this daisy. And this yellow just really made it pop. I really liked this yellow. And I do some of the tiny little blossoms in the yellow as well. And I will do some highlighting with the light orange color when this yellow dries too. So now I'm doing those smaller, I think there's 3 smaller little flowers. I'm doing those in that same pink. So I think this will be mostly pink on this bouquet. But it's nice because it's just like any other paint. As soon as it's dry, you can paint on top. So as soon as these flowers are dry, I can take the highlighting color and give it some little accents. So now I'm just getting in some of those small little blossoms that are in the bouquet. And I'm getting most of them in the yellow, but then I'll go with that light orange and get some of those blossoms with the light orange too. Again, this was super, super fun. And if you take good care of your stencils, you just rinse them off as quickly as you can after you put it on. Like off camera, I had went and rinsed it off because I didn't want my chalk paint to sit on there too much, because if it dries, it can ruin the mesh stencil part. So if you take good care of these, you can get a lot of uses out of these stencils before the sticky is gone. So they are wonderful. So I know I'm going to use this stencil in a few different ways, on a few different projects for sure. So now I'm going and getting the center of that flower. And I'm just I started with some brown dots in the middle. I'm going to do some brown, 2 different oranges, and some of the yellow in there. And I do that a little bit on the pink small flowers as well. Now I am doing my darker green, and I'm getting most of the leaves with the dark green. And now I'm finding a light green that would contrast well. I'm giving those leaves some highlights. And some of the smaller leaves I'm doing all in this light color. So I'm just drawing some highlight lines on each of the bigger leaves, and then filling in some of the smaller leaves in this lighter green color. And after it dries, I go over it again with this light green. Now towards the top, I'm doing mostly the light green, just because they're just tiny little greenery. And you can see how quick and easy this part was. And it's looking so pretty. It's really coming to life. And here's where I use a little bit of the black marker just to fill in some of those lines that had kind of got painted over on accident. And it's actually darker than the chalk paste I used for Magnolia. They sent us it was called a glittering black, which was kind of a dark charcoal gray. And so after I get some of this black on, I'm thinking it's a little too dark. So I kind of do 2 things. I think off camera I went over just with a fine sandpaper and kind of blended or sanded some of that off. And then also in the purple flower, I just took the darker purple and kind of went over those lines again too. And so you just kind of have to play with it a little bit and just get it to look like you envision. And I was using the darker pink and giving the pink flowers some highlights. So I'm pretty much done coloring in my flowers. And now I'm going to use it's called Extreme Glitter Paint by Folk Art. And I'm just using a stylus, and I'm going to put some dots all over. Quite a few in the flowers and blossoms, and then a few around the leaves and twigs up top. And when this dries, it's just glittery little dots, and they catch the light. It just kind of makes it pop and gives it something a little more to look at in your project. So I'm just putting them in random spots, mostly on the flowers. I just dipped my stylus in a little bit that was in the lid. Just get this stylus at the Dollar Tree. And this is a lot of fun too. You can put as much as you want or as little as you want. And I just put some even around on the cream color surface as well, just to kind of make it shine. So I give that a quick dry so I don't smudge any of those. And as it dries, it gets a little more glittery. And I somehow missed the part where I put on this bow, but I used a tag that says Spring has Sprung. This is in my huge printable tag listing, and that will be linked below. But thank you so much for watching. You have a whimsical day.